Welcome back to Empowered. I'm Elizabeth Namofsky. On today's episode, we're discussing humanizing finance to empower lives. Shalicia, before we went to break, you were talking about young people, their goals, and buying homes.
Mhm.
And, I want to talk about this right now because most people in their 20s want a home.
Yeah.
However, the reality of it is, when I was in my 20s, I couldn't afford a home.
Mhm.
I waited, well, because I could afford it when I was in my mid 30s.
Mhm.
Um, you know, Everybody wants something instantaneously now. Everybody wants everything very, very quickly. Why is that?
I think a lot of that has to do with the access we have to fake people's lives on the internet
True.
and through social media. And that, I think, is a huge driver of a lot of instant gratification. And that's where people fall into a lot of scams, whether it's different crypto scams. We've seen that in the
Hmm.
past couple of weeks really blowing up a little bit. People falling into different investment scams.
Well, there's romance scams as well that cause all that too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's that kind of instant gratification is what I think is setting everyone back because they just want to do one big thing and then have one big result after it. And the truth is, we don't often see the many failures where actual and real learning and real growth happens. And that happened with me and my money. And one of the biggest things I think that happened to me from an instant gratification standpoint that wasn't instant gratification is when I decided to step away from my full-time job to pursue building this business and change the way people engage with financial services, I continued to contribute to my investment accounts on a monthly basis. Just let it be and let it be automated. And I got stuck in a pickle few years into this journey, 2 years into this journey, and there was that money that had more than tripled in value. And it was just because I made a good financial decision 2.5 years ago to set this up, set it and forget it. And here we are that where it's bailing me out of a particular situation.
I love the fact that you talked about that because in 2019, I started the $5 per day
Yeah.
savings challenge.
Mhm.
And this is why I started it because I thought everybody's running out buying their breakfast, buying their coffee, buying whatever it is on a daily basis. Take that money, set it aside.
Mhm.
We all need emergency funds. And I'm
Yep.
I'm so happy that you said, yes, you were putting away X amount of dollars per month. And I think everyone needs to do that.
Mhm.
Whether it's $5, $10, $50, $100, $5,000, whatever it is that you can afford at the time, put it away
Yeah.
and let whatever the investment is compound so
Mhm.
that when you do get into a really tight financial situation,
Yeah.
you have that emergency money there that'll save you and you won't go into debt.
And that's part of our pillar of being financially resilient. What are the systems that you set up for yourself that allows you to fall into a softer place than just falling straight to rock bottom? This is going to help break that fall and help you actually bounce back a lot faster.
Actually, that's how I bought my house as well.
Hmm.
I started putting money aside on a monthly basis,
Yeah.
and I actually accumulated enough that I had a down payment for my house.
Hmm.
So, it helped me as well.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what's one way our viewers can start closing the gap in their own financial decisions today? I mean, we just talked about putting away
Hmm.
money on a monthly basis.
Honesty. Radical honesty about your money. And I think you have to look at it in two ways. At the end of the day, money is emotional and it's a tool that we use to soothe ourselves in a lot of ways. And so is buying a home for a lot of people, very emotional, but it represents things like stability for them, that real depth of ownership. But as long as you get to that point where you can separate, this is an emotional decision for today, and this is a decision for my future. Be honest with yourself. And I think that's really the first step. And that honesty allows you to look at your numbers from less of an emotional standpoint and more of this is an honest picture of where we are today. And today's picture does not have to be tomorrow's situation. And that's where Hey Here comes in with her financial snapshot is again, you just put some honest numbers in about yourself and Hey Kira will show you where you are today and give you tips and tricks on how to get to where you want to tomorrow.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to discuss more about what you're doing and your pillars. But I love the fact that you talked about money being emotional. So please
Yeah.
don't go away. We'll be right back with a little bit more of what we've been discussing.